I Am A Constructivist Teacher, EDU 502, Capstone Project by Maurice Jones. Traditional education refers to long-established customs found in schools that society traditionally used. Some forms of education reform promote the adoption of progressive education practices, a more holistic approach which focuses on individual students' needs and self-expression. In the eyes of reformers, traditional teacher-centered methods focused on rote learning and memorization must be abandoned in favor of student-centered and task-based approaches to learning. However, many parents and conservative citizens are concerned with the maintenance of objective educational standards based on testing, which favors a more traditional approach. Traditional education isn't a specific type of education, and the meaning of traditional education varies by location and time. Traditional education is a culturally sanctioned form of teaching that focuses on the values a culture deems most important. It stands in contrast to alternative education, which may use unusual methods, teach non-traditional skills, or use controversial methods of progress. In the United States, a traditional education focuses on basic skills and preparing children for the workplace. Social constructivism is a variety of cognitive constructivism that emphasizes the collaborative nature of much learning. With this highly effective method of teaching, all students can benefit from collaboration and social interaction. This type of social constructivism was formed after Piaget had already described his theories involving individual and cognitive constructivism. Constructivist teaching fosters critical thinking and creates motivated and independent learners. This theoretical framework holds that learning always builds upon knowledge that a student already knows. This prior knowledge is called a schema. Because all learning is filtered through pre-existing schemata, constructivists suggest that learning is more effective when a student is actively engaged in the learning process rather than attempting to receive knowledge passively. Jones, Whitford, 1997. A wide variety of methods claim to be based on constructivist learning theory. Most of these theories rely on some form of guided discovery where the teacher avoids most direct instruction and attempts to lead the student through questions and activities to discover, discuss, appreciate, and verbalize the new knowledge. Modeling, coaching, and scaffolding are the most three common types of constructivist practices in the classroom. The essence of constructivist theory is the idea that learners must individually discover and transform complex information if they are to make it their own. Because of the emphasis on students as active learners, constructivist strategies are often called student-centered instruction. In a student-centered classroom, the teacher becomes the guide on the side instead of the sage on the stage, helping students to discover their own meaning instead of lecturing and controlling all classroom activities. A constructivist teacher will read the poem and stop and share her own thinking out loud. Reading this part about the hard dirt makes me think of trying to plant bulbs last year, and I couldn't dig very deep because the ground was frozen. The teacher shows how reading poetry connects to her prior knowledge and makes her visualize. She then will ask them to read the poem and practice making connections to their own prior knowledge. Then she will have them partner share, so everyone gets a turn to talk. If she asks what the poem means, and she may not, she'll accept any answer that shows that the student constructed meaning from the poem and his or her background knowledge. Assessments are observation, conferences, daily work, portfolios, and included in learning tasks. Rather than saying no when a student does not give the exact answer being sought, the teacher attempts to understand the student's current thinking about the topic. Brooks, 1993. Problem-based learning is a student-centered pedagogy in which students learn about a subject through the experience of solving an open-ended problem. Students learn both thinking strategies and domain knowledge. Zellman, Daniels, Hyde, 1998. Project-based learning is a teaching method in which students gain knowledge and skills by working for an extended period of time to investigate and respond to an engaging and complex question, problem, or challenge. These approaches help reinforce the constructivist philosophy by using similar methods for student learning. They both focus on an open-ended question or task, provide authentic application of content and skills, build 21st century success skills, emphasize student independence and inquiry, also are longer and more multifaceted than traditional lessons or assignments. For years, the term constructivism appeared only in journals read primarily by philosophers, epistemologists, and psychologists. Nowadays, constructivism regularly appears in teachers' manuals of textbook series, state education department curriculum frameworks, education reform literature, and educational journals. Constructivism now has a face and a name in education. A theory of learning that describes the central role that learners' ever-transforming mental schemes play in their cognitive growth. Constructivism powerfully informs educational practice. Education, however, has deep roots in other theories of learning. This history constrains our capacity to embrace the central role of the learner in his or her own education. We must rethink the very foundations of schooling if we are to base our practice on our understanding of learners' needs. Thank you.